You're 3 sentences into an email, and you already don't remember what the first one said. Your eyes are on the screen. Your phone is face down, notifications off, nothing pulling at you. And still, your mind has already left the room. That's not a discipline problem. It's what happens to attention in an environment that was never built to hold it. Think about the last time you sat down to read something that actually mattered to you. A book, a report, a message from someone you care about. You reread the same paragraph 3 times, not because it was hard, but because your attention kept sliding off it like water off glass. That sliding feeling has a name in psychology, and once you understand it, focus stops feeling like a personal failure. Researchers call it attention fragmentation. Your mind isn't broken. It's been trained, gradually and constantly, to expect quick shifts, a new notification, a new tab, a new thought worth chasing, every few seconds. Picture trying to fill a glass from a tap that keeps getting nudged off center. The water never stops moving, but it never fully lands in the glass either. That's what focus looks like when attention keeps getting nudged before it settles. When you finally ask your mind to sit still on one thing, it responds the way a muscle responds to a movement it hasn't practiced in years. It resists. You know the feeling. You sit down to finish one task that actually matters, open a new tab to look up a single detail, get pulled towards something unrelated for a moment, and by the time you look back at the screen, you've genuinely forgotten what you opened the laptop for in the first place. Nothing dramatic happened. Your attention simply followed the last open door. Psychologist Gloria Mark, who has spent over a decade studying attention at work, found that people now switch their focus roughly every 47 seconds on average when working on a screen. Her research also found something more troubling. After an interruption, it can take over 20 minutes to fully return to the same depth of focus you had before. So the cost of a distraction isn't just the few seconds it takes. It's the long, quiet climb back afterward, one your mind rarely finishes before the next interruption arrives. But here's what most people never separate. The problem isn't only how often you get interrupted. It's what constant switching does to your ability to concentrate even when nothing is interrupting you at all. Think about a moment with no notifications at all, maybe a quiet evening, a boring meeting, a waiting room. And still, your mind reaches for a phone that isn't even buzzing. That's not boredom. That's a trained reflex, built from thousands of small rewards for checking, now firing even when there's nothing to check. Psychologist Larry Rosen, who studies technology's effects on the brain, described something he called continuous partial attention, where your mind stays in a low-level state of readiness to switch, even during tasks that require full focus. You're never fully anywhere. You're just efficiently scanning everywhere at once, and that constant scanning has a real cost. It's worth noting this research area is still developing, and not every finding on screens and attention has been fully settled, but the general pattern, that frequent switching weakens sustained focus, is well supported. That reframes something you've probably felt, but never quite named. That fog you feel by the end of a long workday isn't just tiredness from effort. It's the residue of dozens of small, unfinished returns to focus, each one costing a little more than the last, stacking quietly through the day. You might notice it show up in small, telling ways too. Reaching for your phone mid-sentence while talking to someone. Opening a new tab before the first one has even loaded. These aren't failures of character. They're the visible edges of a mind that's been asked to switch again and again until switching became its default state. There's something worth knowing here that isn't discouraging. Attention responds to practice in both directions. The same flexibility that made it easy to fragment can also make it possible to rebuild gradually, the same way any skill returns with consistent use rather than sudden effort. So once you understand the mechanism, what actually helps? You don't need more willpower. You need fewer invitations to switch. Close tabs you're not using instead of keeping them open, just in case. Put your phone in another room during focused work, not just face down beside you, since proximity alone has been shown to pull at attention even when the phone stays silent. Give yourself longer, uninterrupted blocks of time for anything that matters, since focus needs room to rebuild before it can deepen. This isn't about becoming a different kind of person, someone naturally more focused than you are. It's about recognizing that your attention has simply been shaped by its environment, and environments can be changed. The next time you catch your mind sliding off the page, don't call it laziness. Call it what it actually is, a mind that's been asked to switch 1,000 times a day, finally showing you the cost. Your ability to focus wasn't suddenly lost. It was shaped gradually, one small switch at a time, until scattered attention started to feel normal. And because it was shaped gradually, it can be reshaped the same way, not through force, but through fewer invitations to look away. Sometimes the biggest change doesn't come from trying harder. It comes from finally understanding the pattern you were living inside. And once you see that pattern, you rarely see yourself the same way again.